How's it going, everybody? Welcome to OP Entertainment. I'm Omar Darwish.
And I'm Pratik Cherian.
And we're here to finally review this movie that I've been wanting to review for a while. Prey, by a while, when I found out about it 2 months ago. Pratik, first of all, I love this movie. I'm pretty sure you feel similarly to me.
Yeah, I do.
We haven't had any debates yet.
Actually, let me stop you super fast. We're going spoiler-free for this review.
For sure.
Don't worry about it. We want you to see this movie.
Yeah,
we want you to see this movie. All right, that out of the way. Go.
I don't think I could promote a movie. I don't want to promote a movie more, like at least this year, other than Everything Ever All at Once. This is the best movie I've seen since then. The tension in this movie is great. The cinematography in this movie is great. The performances are great. It's like, it started off not slow, but like kind of slower pace for a good reason, because they want you to like get a feel for like the culture and the environment and all the different landscapes, which all the different landscapes are beautiful. But once it starts like picking up and the Predator starts doing its thing, I should probably preface this. I've never seen a Predator movie, like any of them, Predators, any of them. So I had to ask him if Arnold was in the first one. This was incredible. It had like the perfect sci-fi bend to it, like the perfect amount of like seasoning of sci-fi seasoning to it, where like it felt so grounded in reality for the most part, other than the Predator being there.
Yeah,
loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think this isn't even a complaint with the movie, but I wish this was in theaters.
100%.
I really
I kept thinking about it the whole time.
Especially to your point, like in the beginning, where they're really like driving you deep into
the scenery and like the feeling.
Scenery and the feeling and the environment and like the culture of this tribe and everything else, and the cinematography is so beautiful, and these landscapes are gorgeous, and I really, really wanted to see them on a massive screen.
Part of me was like, I wish it was brighter, but it's not bright. I just wanted to see it on the
I need it in theaters.
Yeah,
I just wanted to see it in IMAX. Is what it was.
Yeah, come on. Well, I think the Predator franchise has been going like downhill money wise, right? Because didn't Shane Black do the last one and it still wasn't good?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
you say still like Shane Black is good. Get out of here.
Anyway. So I get why this released on Hulu. Also, I think there was something having to do with the Fox Disney merger as why this released on Hulu.
Sure,
but
and that's all inside baseball. The point is, you are going like this is an incredibly enjoyable movie.
Look, go to Best Buy, go buy yourself the biggest TV you can, and watch this movie and return it if you have to. But this is, I mean, is it safe to say this is the best streaming movie at least this year? I'm gonna say maybe of all time. Maybe of all time. I got to think about that. But,
I'd have to think about what the other candidates are. But,
you know what though? This is the first movie where I can say, now I have faith when it says, oh, the movie is now going to streaming. I can be like, that's not a death sentence anymore, because
that's kind of why they did it, and I get it. But
is it?
Man, I would say so. I would say probably.
I think it's more so the studio heads don't know what makes a good movie, really. So th's just like, it's not going to make money. It's a streaming service. I think this just happened to work out in their favor, honestly. Yeah. And like lightning in a bottle, or do we think they can capture this again?
So here's the thing. I think that when you look at this movie, you look at the level of care that they put into
everything.
I mean, just starting with just the accuracy, and I'll be honest, I'm not super well versed in indigenous or Native American culture, but you can just tell from the minute this movie starts that they care about the accuracy of it.
Yeah, public school. This gave me more knowledge about the culture of Comanche.
Yeah.
Than I'd ever learned before this. So yeah, incredible.
So I think it starts there, and then it goes to if we look at our leads minus the Predator, I guess, but
yeah, you got Amber Midthunder,
yes,
and
Dakota Beavers,
yes. Although he's not credited. Yeah, he's not credited as the second bill. Second bill is the guy who plays Predator. Sorry, I'm not saying your name. And
somebody else.
An a-hole in the movie. He's a great actor. I'm just saying, plays an a-hole in the movie.
But that aside, those two really carry the movie. I would say they have the majority of the screen time
for sure. I would say,
and they
the majority of screen time is scenery. I would say of this movie, which is good. Which for someone like me who's like, come on, like, let's get to it. I was just like basking in the glow of this movie for the entirety of it, and like once we get to like. I said this when we were watching it. They're gonna cast this Amber. She's gonna be in the MCU or something.
That's kind of where I was
huge.
going. Where it's because so much of the movie is just like her and her dog and the landscape. Like if you're not absolutely bringing it with a performance, you're going to lose people. And I wasn't lost for a second.
No.
Just Shit, I can't say enough good things about her acting in this movie.
There's so little dialogue in this movie compared to your average movie. I mean, I had heard there was like not a lot of dialogue in this movie, and it's not dialogue heavy, but I would say go on.
But it's enough. It's enough dialogue.
Perfect. Nothing dragged on for me in this movie. Like
correct.
When the worst part of the movie is like the CG of some animals, like I can let that works. It worked for the framework of the movie.
Yeah, getting to the worst parts of this movie. I'll be honest,
struggling.
After we watched it, I was sitting there like there had
to be something, right?
There has to be something. And,
okay, I have one.
It's all right. Go for it.
I have one thing, and it's the only thing, and it's a super nitpick. It's not going to affect my score one way or the other. She creates a weapon in this movie and is just instantly so incredible with it that I was like, okay. And it's a very dangerous...
We do get like a 10-second scene of her like practicing with it.
But she doesn't mess up once when she practices. And every practice throw or whatever, I'm not going to say what it is. I'm just like, okay, so she just instantly...
Yeah.
Cool. But also, that's cool because she is pretty badass. Like, throughout the whole movie, she shows like... She just picks up everything pretty good. So she's not like a, what do they call Ray when Ray was, is it a Mary Sue?
Yeah.
She's not like a Mary Sue by any means. Like,
we see her mess up. We see her make mistakes. And I think that it's not like, oh, she's good at everything. Like there is a progression there. And there are things that people like point out to her failings and flaws earlier on that come back later.
Yeah.
And it's all very, very, very well done. I would say, when I'm trying to think of ways to nitpick this movie,
I know, me too. Like,
It's to me, the CGI of the animals. Specifically, there's a bear that I thought was pretty bad. But I would say just like overall plot conveniences, which are kind of standard for this type of.
There's like one big plot convenience involving a snake.
There's a handful.
Okay.
There's a handful, but I think that's kind of part of the course. And to be quite honest, when I saw the trailer for this movie, I was worried about. Like, how do you have Native Americans and their
can't let
technology?
the trailer affect your view of the film.
No, I was curious about how they would handle like the Predator,
right?
Because every time we've seen him, it's been with like guns and like modern day weapons, and so you take him back in time. I'm like, this shouldn't even like be a movie. And so. I would say for the most part, they handled that really, really well. There's a couple conveniences here and there, but I thought it was good overall.
I know you said you've only seen like one or two of the Predator movies, but
I've seen 1 and 2.
Is this Predator more primitive?
Yes. In my opinion, yes.
Are they all
super well versed
from like the future though? Don't they time travel to different spots?
No, it's aliens, not
okay.
Time
gotcha.
travel, so, yeah.
I'll say this: I never seen a Predator movie. I am now probably gonna go watch at least the first.
That's
one.
my only other complaint, if you want to call it that, is I do think that
this doesn't really feel like that.
Well, no, not that. I think that if you haven't seen a Predator movie, you're going to love this so much more than if you have.
Probably.
Not that it's bad, but I do think that there's stuff in here that we've seen before. It doesn't reinvent the wheel. There's a handful of callbacks to again, having only seen Predator 1 and 2, but there's still a handful of callbacks to the first one.
Okay.
So it's not the most like creative, inventive use of the Predator, but it's still really, really, really good.
The premise is so good though, and to deliver on that premise, it's just like chef's kiss. It's gonna be hard for this movie not to be my at least second favorite movie of the year. Like I swear, nothing's gonna beat my Everything Ever All at Once. Like that's like the movie of the damn near decade for me. But like, man, like this is gonna have to be a pretty stacked year for something to replace this for me. I'm not gonna lie. God, do we want to say anything before scoring it? I want to nitpick this movie. Anything bad about it?
I'm ready to score it, man. I'm ready to go.
10 for sure. There's not when we're struggling to find even nitpicks with the movie, like that's how you know it's a 10. Maybe I've just been like seeing a bunch of shitty movies lately, like Bullet Train, whatever the last movie was. But this, man, like 10 out of 10. Just go see it. I also think this is like maybe not like a 4-quadrant film like Take Your Kids, but
it's not. It's rated R.
I think that
bloody.
Like, for the most part you'll enjoy it. Like even if like you don't like horror or even if you don't like thrillers per se, it's more than that. Like this movie's like beautiful. Like
I agree with that. I was struggling with what to give this because I think when it comes to giving something a 10, like it's one of those things where you either know or you don't.
Yeah.
And
if you don't know,
where I settled was that it's a 10 if you haven't seen a Predator movie, and it's a 9 if you have. And that's kind of where I like that's where I fell.
Haven't seen a Predator movie? Have.
Yeah,
cool.
But like honestly, Your best chance of convincing me that we should go into like halves is this movie right here, because I really, really, really want to be
All
like.
I'm saying is, if you don't feel a 9, you don't feel a 10. There's nothing wrong with scoring at 9.5.
It's a 9. It's a 9. It's a 9, but it's an extremely high 9.
In his heart, it's a 9.5 though. just know that.
All right, you want to take us out?
Yeah. Well, next week we got no movie that we're gonna review, but we do have She-Hulk coming out next week, right?
Oh,
my
that
goodness!
is next week.
I cannot wait. Not Wednesday, so we're gonna be here Thursdays. So stay tuned for that.
All right, we'll see you then.
Guys.